The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.com.
We do have people.
Yes.
Miss Shirley and hello, Ann. Hello, Shirley. I hope you can hear me.
Hello, working
Hello.
on it. There we go.
So in the poll later on, are you going to vote for one member president or two members president?
Probably one.
There's one handsome looking cat.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, I'm looking up because I put the Zoom on my TV. So I'm looking up at the TV.
Shirley, good morning. We can see you're here, even though we can't see you. Hopefully you can hear us. Does your cat like to walk on the key? Oh, look at that. Shirley has a camera.
Yeah, she was on help desk with the camera, and Ed is there with her.
And there's
So
Ed.
we get 2 for 1 with them. Now, Shirley, we're not seeing as much of you as we are of there you go.
That's better. And you are muted too, so we can see you, but we're not hearing you.
She's got food in her mouth.
We don't hear you, Shirley. You're muted. There.
Okay, you ought to be able to hear us now.
Yes,
hear you,
we
see
can.
you. Wonderful.
Hot damn, you never thought it would happen.
Well, there's been talk, but we're glad to see you.
Thank you. We are glad to be seen.
Wonderful.
So did you get a new computer or just a new camera?
No. This is the little camera thing, and also a little help in knowing what I need to do to get my system ready to do something like this. I have to almost start it up because it's so old and falling apart. And Tony doesn't know it, but I'm going to talk to him one of these days and see if I can hire his body and his brain to help me put in a new computer, which I surely need.
And at your disposal, so I'd be happy to.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. So anyway, we're real happy to do this, and it's so nice to see your faces, guys.
Yes, it is. Hi, Jim.
Hey, hi, Susan.
Hi, Jim. This is Shirley.
Hi, Shirley. How you doing? And Ed.
We want to be counted for 2 votes today. We
Okay.
don't know how else to do it other than, I don't know how else we would do it. So 2 votes from here,
That worked for me.
You get a chance to.
maybe 4.
I'm from Chicago. I believe in voting early and voting often.
And I'm from Detroit. It's got to be my guy.
Yeah. Actually, I lived in Detroit for a very brief time. I think I was about 2 years old, and my dad was stationed there for a while.
Yeah.
That was my formative years. I think I lived in 5 states the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And then he retired, and we didn't go anywhere. So my sisters got all the moving. I got to stay in one place.
I was happy to leave Michigan to go to college and then to come to Texas, and I've not left Texas since then. So where I want to be.
Where did you go to college?
Western College for Women, where Miami University is there in Ohio, near Cincinnati. And they gave me a scholarship. They gave one to one girl from each state and to from as many countries as they could. And I got the one from the state of Michigan, full whatever it is. And it was the most wonderful experience. So, and I loved it, just loved it. And then I met my husband the first week of college. So that did that. But in any case, Ohio was a nice place. I'm happy to come to Texas. So hope we get a good crowd today.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
How many would it take to do the quota?
Quorum is what, 20, 21?
20.
20. Yeah. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 so far.
7 if you count the cat.
I vote we count the cat.
She's sitting on my lap right now. Yeah.
Well, she's relatively well behaved for cats. I mean,
Oh, I don't know. She's flown through my presentations before. She's like on.
I know once in a while we could hear Michael Lacapo's cat. He said that she was used to getting attention at that time of day and she wasn't getting it when he was doing the presentation. So
I wasn't sure that cat was alive. It sat on the couch that whole day and they don't think it moved.
So Susan, I haven't heard too much feedback on what I had sent in for like the pamphlet update.
Oh, well, I've gone through them. So let's get together maybe Monday or Tuesday and see if we can get Gloria on there too. I mean, it's looking great. So I thought
But it
I
has-
had responded.
No, well, it has to match everything else though. And so I had some comments. And so I don't know if you can accept the comments or not because it needs to match everything else. So
I agree completely. So let's go through that and just check off. And I know if there's stuff on the website that needs to be changed, that can always get corrected.
okay, I'll email you then.
All right.
Making a note.
Good morning, Barbara Ware.
Good morning.
How are you?
Just fine. You don't see my picture because I just washed my hair and it's still wet.
Okay.
Make sure you mute when you put the hairdryer on.
You know, I've tried not to use the hair dryer very much since we've been staying at home. It's better for your hair not to have to dry it so much. Of course, some of you all don't have that problem, do you?
Yeah, no, I don't have that
No.
problem at all.
Gonna buff it up a bit, you know.
My wife was editing pictures the other day on the computer and she says, I'm trying to get the glare off your head.
Oh, the indignities we have to suffer.
I
right, Jim?
know. It's terrible.
Hello, Patty.
Hello, good morning.
Patty, do you happen to have Bill Buckner's email address handy?
I can get it for you. Hang on just a minute.
Okay.
Depends on which one you want to use.
I want to use the one that he'll answer.
That's a good one.
I have two, and he answers both. He's pretty good about that.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on just a minute.
I found them, Patty, if you want me to give them to him.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, one is Bill, like the name Bill, followed by the letter B.
Jim,
So just Bill
Okay.
B at wacotx.gov.
he's all dead.
T is in Tom.
And Susan.
Yeah, like Waco TX, like the state of Texas.gov.
Okay. The gov. Okay.
And then there's genealogy Bill at gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you.
One of those two usually gets them.
Okay.
Just lost his father, by the way. In fact, today is the memorial service for his dad.
Mm.
Yeah, his dad was a great man, great genealogist, and worked in the newspaper industry for years.
Bill Buckner's father just passed away?
Yeah, and today is his memorial service.
I didn't know that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
That's sad.
it is. He was very, very involved with the Waco genealogy and all the folks down there. He's a super great guy.
Hey, a question. Does anybody know whether all the branch libraries are also going to open on the 4th?
I don't know. That's one question I was going to try to ask Stephanie this afternoon.
I think they're all opening except for Renner Frankfurt, because they had damage in the ice.
Okay,
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
because
really-
I'm collecting all kinds of books that I don't need anymore for research. I'm saving all the ones that have to do with the New England stuff because I'm still using that a little bit. But I also have lots of things that are duplicates for what we already have on the 8th floor or the 7th floor. And I'm wondering if that new library that opened up has any thought of wanting to start a genealogical little subsection also, because that might be a good place to send things we know we've already got downtown. So I'm going to figure a way to maybe work with Stephanie and someone and see if anybody wants to fool with at least a list of those things to see what they might want.
Well, the branch that I go to, Timberglen has a sign out. They're not accepting any donations right now because they can't deal with the fact, I guess they've been around people, so they've got
They've got to be quarantined. I know that. Yeah.
You might
But
try
what I have is for a trunk and a half full of books that I want our big library to look at. I've got them all listed, and I thought I would just send a list of all those books. They can look at them without having to get the books in there and see which things we still want. And then those could be the only things that I send up there. And the rest will be for some other place. We'll work out something on it.
Well, you might try Mesquite Library and Haggard Library in Plano too, if Dallas doesn't want them.
Okay. But that new one is, I've forgotten the name of it, Green. I don't know. It's anyway.
It's over on Forest. That's the new one's over on Forest Lane somewhere. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
Shirley,
Yes.
we all, when Lloyd died, he gave DGS all of his books and we donated. They are physically located at the Dallas Public Library.
Right.
So the library took all the books they wanted, and now we have got a list of the books, and we've been offering them to different genealogical libraries around North Texas.
Okay.
And so at some point, that might be an option, is to put any of the remainders in with Lloyd's, and they go on a list. And so, Mesquite's already taken what they wanted. Plano was just about to take what they wanted when the library closed. And so we will be offering those to different genealogical libraries around North Texas.
I think I need to get on that train then. So what I'll be doing is creating my inventory list.
Okay, and we could,
I can hand those to whoever wants to take them and add them to the ones they look at and see what they want
All
without
right.
any books going back and forth. So that's a difficult task.
yeah, and what they do is they come down to the library and pick up the ones that, so it's an Excel spreadsheet. So we, send it to them, they pick the ones they want, and then Stephanie's staff pulls them for them and they come pick them up.
Okay.
So that means you wouldn't have to be running around trying to
Yeah.
get them. And
Thank
then finally, when we've, asked everyone, John Wiley in Grand Prairie has a kind of a library building there that their library's letting him use, and he will take any books, and he invites any small library to come there and pick books they want. Now, it's not open to the public, it's only open to libraries.
Okay.
So other libraries can come get books for their genealogy
That's good.
collection.
We like books. We want to spread them as many places as can use them, I'll tell you.
Well, and we're trying to get them to libraries who wouldn't necessarily be buying them otherwise. So that will be the last resort. The last stop for Lloyd's book will be with John Wiley, where he then will let any library come in and take what they want.
Okay, good. Good job.
Susan, do you by any chance know if the Haggard Library in Greenville is on that list?
Oh, no.
Haggard Library in Greenville, they've got a library. I think it's Harrison Library.
Harrison, I'm sorry. I'm getting my cities mixed up. Yeah, Harrison Library in Greenville.
No, we had been limiting it to the North Texas
Okay.
area, which that sort of is. But I mean, once that they could certainly be, included in there.
Okay.
But I've worked with Gayla and Stephanie as to which libraries, might be trying to grow their collection, and we've sent
Yeah.
it to them.
But yes, and the library up in McKinney can certainly use books too. So,
Well, and after Plano, I think McKinney's next on the list.
And then there's Sulphur Springs that took a bunch of us stuff way back when we've been doing this 20 years ago, and they were happy to get it too. So yeah, great. What's that?
That was a bit of feedback.
Sounded like a weird movie.
Victoria, it sounds like you've got two systems going in your house there. One of them's gonna have
It's
to,
Gene.
you didn't shut off.
For some reason, I can't get the audio on my computer.
Okay, well, we're hearing you right now. Did you come in by phone or something?
Is it gone now?
At the moment it is, we can hear you.
Okay.
but we see your
I'm
ceiling.
on-
We see
I'm
your
on-
ceiling.
I'm on my phone as well because I can't get audio on my computer.
Okay, so keep the audio on your computer muted, because when you unmute that. you
Okay,
can hear
I
the
did.
feedback. Okay,
I did.
Okay, but we're looking at your ceiling, Gloria.
I'm sorry.
We're looking at your ceiling.
well, now you're in view. When you lean back, we can't see you.
That better?
No,
No,
now we don't see you.
You don't see me at all?
no.
We see a lamp and a ceiling.
I'm invisible.
Well, the camera's on your computer, not your phone, right?
Yeah, now we
There.
see you.
Now you see
Gloria,
me?
Gloria Goodwin is showing up twice with two different little pictures up at the top. Is that a problem?
My twin.
She's having a sound problem.
Still there twice.
Well, Jerry Steele, welcome. It has been a long time since we've seen you in one of our meetings. I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You ready to
Are
move
you-
back to Texas yet?
Oh, Jerry Steele. Woo!
Hey,
Hey, Shirley here.
hi.
Wonderful.
Liz Thurmond is here.
Liz, good morning.
Haven't seen her in a while. Liz, I have a whole bunch of cards. Are they accepting those at your facility? I drive by it every day, but I can't remember the name of it.
Juliet Fowler.
Fowler.
Juliet Fowler, that's right. Are they accepting those? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can, yes.
But we don't hear Liz if she's trying to talk.
I have some cards as well. Whole bag full.
Can I ask Jerry where you are now? What state?
No, I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay, that's where you were a few years ago, I think. Yes.
Yes, yes. I've
Good.
been through two different jobs, and but I'm working virtually for the state of Tennessee. I'm not having to commute to Nashville, so I'm working from the house.
Excellent. You're looking very well, thank you. You are.
Let's see if I can get the video to work here. There we go. Sometimes sometimes I have a bandwidth problem, so I usually just keep it off unless I have to. But no, I'm still active in Toastmasters and hadn't done a whole lot of genealogy. And I was talking to Liz the other day, so I thought I'd start dropping in on her brown bag or whatever you call it now, and in some of the other meetings. So
Excellent, excellent.
Hey, Jerry, how's Bill doing?
he's doing super. He got into doing videography with drones as well as photography.
Well, that's another way to photograph horseshoes.
Well, yeah, but we didn't get into the horses here. So, but he was the photographer at a fundraiser for the Buddy House, which does for one of the disabled groups here in town last night. So he was busy taking photos.
Well, that keeps him off the street.
Well, it's the first event he or I, neither one, have ever been to since we had our vaccines. So we've been kind of judicious about getting out still. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Terry. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
It's nice that we can see you from afar.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I like the Zoom meetings. We've been doing a lot of things in Toastmasters on Zoom meetings, and I think we're going to continue to do hybrid even after we go to meeting in person, because we've got members all over the United States now, just from our club here in Bowling Green. So it's kind of nice.
I have a friend who's active in those Toastmasters, and they're meeting by Zoom as well.
Yeah, I'm in a club, Toastmasters club too, and I think that's something they haven't quite addressed yet, because we've picked up 3 or 4 members from the north, and it's like, okay, when we get back to meeting in person, what are we going to do with these extra members?
We've already decided we're becoming a hybrid club, so we'll have some kind of a setup there in, like an iPad and a computer, so that they can see the room and we can hear and see them. So
Yeah.
Jim, I think I figured out how we're going to do it.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that.
Thought you might be.
Are you talking about back at the library?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Particularly for a seminar.
Ah,
So when we go to the library to do some research, do we have to make an appointment just to go up to the 8th floor and just do some research?
yes.
Even if we don't necessarily need anybody's help?
Right.
Oh, no, there's only so many people they're going to allow in at one time. And you pretty much have to have an appointment for any floor. So
Okay.
you need to contact that section, and there's they'll email you a form to fill out for when you want your appointment.
Okay.
And is parking any kind of a challenge?
Well, I can't imagine it would be, because there's not that many people going to be in the garage.
I bet by now they've got that payment system working, so that may be the challenge.
Oh.
Well,
Probably.
and they've got the elevators have all been renovated. So
Lloyd would have been happy for that, wouldn't he? I was on that elevator that he got stuck on one time, and it was a sight to be seen.
Did they really do an update to the elevators during
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
He did an update to a talk he was working on while he was sitting on the floor of the elevator waiting for them to come do something.
Well, I don't know if they did the inside or not, but all of the stuffings of the elevator, the electronics and all, have been upgraded. So they had started that, they were working on I guess we're working on 2 of them when they shut down. But Stephanie said those are complete.
Yeah, I think Stephanie had told me they were going to be completely new elevators, because she told me that at the time before they shut down, that those elevators that we were using were the ones original to the building.
Right.
I don't doubt that one bit.
I thought those came from the previous library. Didn't they bring them?
Well, I will tell you, you've never lived until they've had a fire alarm go off and you have to walk down 9 flights of stairs to get out of the library. That was interesting. And it happened on the same day 3 different times.
Yeah, we've been there and done that.
The worst thing is carrying your computer bag down with you because you're definitely not leaving it up there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, in one of those times, there was a woman struggling down that had just had knee surgery, like within a couple or 3 weeks. And so at some point, we just told her, stay there, I'll stay with you, and we'll have, we'll let security know. So Barbara went on down and let security know that we were staying in the stairwell. It wasn't a drill, but it wasn't a real fire either. And so eventually they came and let us out. But we were calling down to Barbara, telling them, tell them we're still here. It seemed a long time to stay in the stairwell, but that woman could not have walked down. I mean, she had just had the knee surgery, and it was silly for her to try to. She should have gotten on an elevator.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I recall seeing that people in a wheelchair were up on the 8th floor, and there wasn't any way they could get out if the elevator wasn't working. They just had to stay there. So.
Yeah, security has to come, and security did not come to, of course, we should have contacted security and said, come up here and let this woman go down on an, but bless her, she tried to go down the stairs. And
Well, she didn't really let us know until she'd gotten down about 3 flights.
Right.
And people were passing her. And then she's saying, I just can't go any further.
So. Well, we've got about 4 minutes.
You to warm your coffee up.
Oh, that's fine.
Or you cool it down.
Ed and I are doing Zooming exercise classes, and we're doing them in my office here. And everybody's supposed to have 6 square feet. No, I don't think so. And what we like is we can go out of view anytime we want to. So either we're not doing them if we don't want to, or we are, but it's a sorry sight.
Todd, are you still in Wisconsin?
Nope, I got home yesterday. So back in Texas for a while.
Oh, well, I didn't know if we were going to use them on the tall side. Huh.
There's Carolyn Davis.
The nice thing about Zoom is you can have coffee while you're in the meeting.
That's right.
Yes, you can. Look at my picture.
Nice thing about Zoom is nobody knows if it's really coffee or if it's wine.
This is true.
Just go on every now and then and pretend, Cheryl.
I wanted the cookies. I always went for the cookies after we had a meeting. So.
And no lines at the restrooms.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Computer problems 2 days in a row.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
I'm
Computer problems
sliding
conquered.
into home base here. I'm frantic and sweaty. So. Not the way I planned to start today.
You look marvelous.
I don't trust. I don't trust it either.
Oh.
34 people. That's good.
Hello to all you bright, shiny faces.
Hey, Sharon.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
How many different states do we have? We got Tennessee and Davis. You're in Delaware?
Well, Kentucky, Carolyn's in Delaware.
All right.
Gary's in Kentucky.
Right.
I'm in a state of chaos. That's the state.
I was going to say confusion, but chaos is better.
That'll fit. That'll fit too.
You actually could change your name on there and put what state you're in or what city you're in.
All right, folks, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to share my screen and get set up.
There we go.
Okay. All right, let me try to do one other thing here. I need to. Well, I've got an issue there. All right, so good morning. I'm Susan Younger, and I welcome you to the May 1st, 2021 General Meeting of the Dallas Genealogical Society. I do welcome all of our members and all of our visitors. So we've got a slightly different today. We're going to first, this is the awards, the annual awards meeting, and normally we would be having lunch right about now or getting ready for it. Obviously we can't do that yet, but we look forward to when we can. I'm going to do a little review of the Dallas Genealogical Society and the things that the volunteers have done over the years, because this is a meeting about the annual service awards and what our volunteers do for us at the society. Then we're going to have a short business meeting, and we have to vote on the officers for the 2021-22 year. And then we have a special announcement to make, and then we'll end with the awards portion of the meeting. Well, let me get my, all right. I'm going to start out talking about our volunteers by kind of doing a quick little tour of the DGS website, because we are using the website in a way to highlight the things that DGS does and what we have done in the past. One of the things that I want to start with is on our home tab. I want to talk about the donations that our members and our volunteers have provided for the Dallas Public Library since 1955. You see that $767,549.64. That's how much we have donated since 1955. An amazing amount. And we've done it by giving books, by giving cash. You remember we used to give Lloyd a big fake check over and everything, and then a real check, you know. We've done education. We've provided funding for educational opportunities for the library staff. We've donated equipment, which includes things like computers, projectors, scanners. We've paid for microfiche, microfilm. We've helped with renovations. And more recently, we've started providing subscriptions to online sites like Newspaper Archive and History Geo. So part of being a member of DGS is providing this kind of support to the library that then benefits everyone who comes into the library. And it's helped make the Dallas Public Library one of the best genealogy libraries in the country. And that's because of the volunteers and people like you. The next thing we really want you to be aware of is on the events tab is where we're telling you what DGS is doing that month and in the coming month. We have all sorts of opportunities out there for you to meet with other genealogists and participate in genealogical related activities. Under the events tab, if you go to calendar of events, that's a comprehensive list of all the meetings that DGS is going to host, but we also highlight other societies' meetings if they've provided us with that information. We'll also have the state, Texas State Genealogical Society's events on there, such as their conference, and TIGR, who's the Texas Institute, that'll be held in June. We have information about the next general meetings, their seminars, and their special interest groups. And I hope you're participating in the special interest groups. These are groups that have a specific topic that they work on, such as best practices, DNA, the German group, the African American group. So these are held once a month, and that information about those meetings are in the event calendar as well. We also have information about past annual awards and who those winners have been, not winners, recipients of the awards. Our blog, I think, is probably one of the most underutilized things. I would encourage you to check our blog at least once a month or so. We work real hard to put articles on the blog that should be of interest to you. Some of this may be news and in a more timely way than our once a month newsletter. There may be a short article on methodology, local history, case histories, book reviews, theme articles. I know the DNA articles have been very popular recently. So please go back and check the blog. When we send out the e-news, we do link back to the blog articles. The articles aren't necessarily listed in the news, but the publications committee work real hard to try to identify articles that will be of interest to a wide range of interests to our members. Also, this is an opportunity for you as a budding writer to submit something and publish something on the DGS blog. And the blog allows a shorter article. Now, we do take longer articles that are more formal and footnoted, but here is a good way for you to donate some of your effort in a small article. And we really encourage you to do that. So you'd want to contact our newsletter editor or our publication content, or just info@dallasgenealogy.org. We would like to hear from you. We would like for you to share the work you've done. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an article about family. It could be some transcriptions you've done that could end up either in the blog or in the publications. So if you've done some work that you want to share, please contact us. Because this blog article is a long list of things that our volunteers have shared. They've gone out and researched maybe a collection at the Dallas Public Library or a special library archives in the area. So please check out our blog and check it out routinely. There's lots of good stuff there. Now here's where we start getting in to what our volunteers have done. Since 1955, there's literally been thousands of hours that our volunteers have worked to index, to transcribe, to abstract records of North Texas. In the records section, this is kind of the categories of it. In some cases, when you click on these links, you will actually get a search box and where you can search the index. Others, it's just a list of the books that Dallas has put together. Of course, there was a time when there were no computers, no digital copies of things. And so DGS did a tremendous amount of publication of books early on. And that was those volunteers that did that. And I'll remind you, they did it using typewriters. If you can think how that was back then. But go and browse in the records and you will see the amazing amount of work that the volunteers have done. This includes tax records, marriages, mortality schedules. Again, some of them have a searchable index right now. We are working hard to deal with all of the print copies and try to turn them into a digital asset. But guess what? We need volunteers to do that. And we're working on, we've started working on our publications first and then working on records. I know Barbara Ware is constantly updating the databases on the cemeteries in Dallas County and the transcriptions of cemetery records and stones. So do check this out and consider donating your time to help digitize some of this, or to be adding new records to our website. Part of the mission statement of the Dallas Genealogical Society is to educate and promote genealogy for our members and for our visitors. Usually we do that with the general meetings held once a month, where we have a speaker come and talk on a specific topic, or we have our seminars and our SIGs where we're learning. But we also have this webpage here where we have a Getting Started, a beginners group that has some links to documents to help with beginners. We have some training. Well, the Getting Started has links to the Ancestry beginning learning opportunities, as well as Family Search. The training has links to specific beginning methodology and help sheets. I'm sure a lot of people on this call now remember Pat Hatcher. She donated many of her articles and her handouts during her lecture time. And so there are just dozens and dozens of articles that Pat Hatcher wrote that are still useful to people who are not just beginners, but some of these are going to help you get new ideas and remind you of ones that maybe you've forgotten a little. We also have, under conferences, we have links to the National Genealogical Society, the Texas State. And then if all else fails and you need to have help with a researcher, we're trying to upgrade finding researchers that could perhaps help you with a fee involved. So again, if you know someone that's trying to begin, you might refer them to this part of our website. Keep in mind that these educational opportunities, such as the meetings and the seminars and the SIGs, those are planned for, organized, and presented by volunteers. So this meeting today, there's a lot of things that go into having these meetings, including the technical side and putting it together. But the leaders of the director of education, the vice president with seminars, and the SIG leaders organize these meetings. And in many cases, they are presenters. So thank your volunteer when you attend one of those SIG meetings or the whole group of people that help put on a seminar. Over the years, we've had quite a few publications, and it is very typical of a genealogical society to produce a journal that has articles, has transcribed records, has news in it. And over the years, the DGS first did the quarterlies, which was a journal 4 times a year. Then we went to a journal that was annual, and then Pegasus, and then monthly newsletters. So all of those were print, again, produced and printed and sent out by volunteers. In the past 5 or 6 years, especially with the help of Tony Hansen, all of the DGS quarterlies, journals, Pegasus, and newsletters are digitized. They're on our website, as well as the Portal to Texas History. And we funded getting those onto the Portal to Texas History that's part of the University of North Texas, so that the rest of the world could get access to the information that's in these journals. And there is just a wealth of things in these publications. Not all Dallas County records are indexed in there, but it's amazing how much is, and it just reminds us how much more could be done when we have the manpower to do it. But it's an amazing tribute to the people that did this on typewriters and then did a hard copy print. But now it's digitized. The Portal to Texas History is free access. On the DGS website, if you are a member, you can sign in and you have access to a PDF file of the entire publication. So each quarterly, you would be able to download or to go in and search the entire journal. On the Portal to Texas History, it's basically page by page. But both on the DGS website, it is searchable, and on the Portal to Texas History, it's searchable. Right now, we have an effort going that we are putting links to each of these documents. We're doing a table of contents. And when you go in and do a search, say on coroner's reports, it would bring up the quarterlies that have a title within their table of contents with that search item that you requested. The link then brings you directly into the Portal to Texas History, to the page where that journal article is. We've already got the table of contents for all the quarterlies, journals, and Pegasus, I believe, and we're working on newsletters. And if you want to volunteer to help finish that, we would appreciate it. There's other publications on this tab. There's articles that people have written. This is a good place if you have an article that you want to write, one you've already done that you could share. Please talk to us about that. We have an entire section on the Boxtrup papers. I hope you remember that Lloyd donated his personal research, decades of his personal research, to DGS. And we worked hard to organize those papers and get them boxed up and available to the public. His papers are on the 8th floor of the Central Library, his research papers. Information about Lloyd as the professional librarian, speaker, and author are listed are held on the 7th floor archives at the Central Library. But also on this Boxtrup papers is as many of Lloyd's handouts over the years for his lecture handouts. These are absolutely amazing bibliographies of resources to research. And most of them, I believe, are in the Dallas Public Library's collection. So go to his page and see what he left us afterwards. Another really important publication is the Digital Online Cemetery Database and Map. This is continuously being updated. We're taking the printed publications and trying to put them into a spreadsheet and then upload them to the digital database. Again, Barbara could use some help on that. And we have our publication guidelines. So if you're serious about publishing something, you can start with our publication guidelines and then call us and talk to us about it. All of this has been as a result of volunteers donating their talents, their time, and their effort. On our Get Involved tab, we have a page that will explain some of the volunteer activities and what it would involve. The hospitality, right now, Tammy Garrett is leading that up, but she can always use some help once we get back to meeting in person. We have opportunities to help with the publicity, social media, that is becoming an absolute necessity, and we have to do social media posting to reach a broader group of people. We could always use help with that, help with editing, proofreading. And then when we're in person, audio visual setup, takedown. And if you want to do more, we'll be willing to help or train there. We also, when we have a seminar in person, there's a huge, there's always a large group of people we need to help set that up and run it during the day. So at the Get Involved tab, you can volunteer for specific projects, and they'll be listed out, and there'll be an explanation of what that project is. Some of them are very short term, some of them are indexing, but there is a description there. We also have some training videos that if you volunteer for some of these projects, there is a little training video that tells you exactly what you need to do and gives, support for those projects. You can always donate money in support of the DPL, the Dallas Public Library's genealogy section. That $767,000 didn't just appear in our bank account. You can also donate material. Some of you heard before getting on that Shirley Sloat has some books she wants to donate. So if you're in the spring cleaning mode and you need to get rid of some books, check with us or check with the Dallas Public Library to see if they need that book. Then there's other ways to donate some of these things. It's always important to share what you don't want if you can. Other material might be, again, if you've gone out and transcribed a small cemetery, share that with us. And again, share your writing with us. That donation is just as important as any of the other things that we do to donate. Did you know that Dallas Genealogical Society has a YouTube channel? We do, and it is now a goal of the board to enhance and really beef this up. There's a lot of plans to do more video communication with our members. You would just go into YouTube and search Dallas Genealogical Society. Then check the playlist. There are the videos portion of that is literally each video one by one, but under the playlist we tried to group them by subject matter. And so more and more our special interest groups are recording their meeting and putting it out on the YouTube. You can see under our general meetings there's 52 different videos there. We do record the business part of the meeting, and if the speaker allows, we will record the speaker and put the speaker up on the video on the YouTube. Not all of them will, but many of them are very generous and allows it. Some of these folks are professional genealogists, and they have some restrictions on what they want to put up out in public for free. But all of these videos are free. And so you just go out there and browse around at the SIG offerings, at the general meetings, and then we're trying to go in and update some of our educational opportunities, and we realize that using videos is one of the most efficient ways to do them. Some of these videos are going to be very on point to a specific topic and maybe shorter than others. These are not necessarily a full hour, but it's kind of education on demand sort of thing. So go out and browse the YouTube now, but expect that we are going to be adding more to this. This is one of our goals, is to do more with video, and especially when it comes to education. Okay, I had kind of skipped over the membership side of it. So what does it mean to be a member of DGS? Well, you get discounts, you get access to the members only website, you get to vote today on the society management. But the most important thing is, by being a member, you are supporting activities that mean a lot to the community, to the genealogy community, to the library. So your membership helps support those donations to support the Dallas Public Library genealogy section. It helps pay for the educational presentations at the general meetings. In many cases, we pay the speaker, which is only fair. Others, sometimes the speakers are volunteers, presenters. We have special interest groups that we have to pay for the technology. We have to pay for the Zoom platform. So being a member helps support all of that. We also, it's helping support us to put more and more of our past publications and records that we've done, to put them on the DGS website and make them freely available. We have to pay for the nationally known speakers at our seminars. Our ongoing digitization of records, there is costs associated with it. We also get to recognize the individuals who are supporting our mission, both now and in the past. And especially this year, the COVID year, we have had more and more requests from the community, from non-genealogy organizations. They've reached out and asked if there was someone could come talk to them about genealogy. That had been one of our goals 2 years ago, I guess, in making sure that we did a broader outreach to people other than just down at the Central Library. And the COVID has helped us do that in a virtual way. And we've had speakers like Jim Thornhill, Patty Smith, Bernard Meisner, who have used some of the programs they'd already created or maybe created to present at libraries. I know we've done some work for the Methodist Health System. They have a group of people, a program set up where they have people come in and give talks on various topics. And genealogy was one of the topics that their group wanted to hear about. And so we've been providing that kind of outreach with volunteers from DGS, and it's been very successful. And we're still having those requests come in. We actually have a way and under the events tab to request a speaker. When we don't have a particular topic, we try to help them understand that they could go to Family Search and pull up some records or another source for a program for them. But that has just been a big success this past year in doing the virtual presentations and getting DGS out there in the community on a broader scale. So that's what your membership is doing. It's not just getting you things, it's getting DGS in a position where we can offer information about genealogy, programs about genealogy, and especially our support for the genealogy section of the Dallas Public Library. That concludes our tour. We do need to do a quick little business meeting here, and we do need to vote. Quickly, here is our treasurer's report for April 2021. Our income for that time was $4,140. Total expenses, $6,631. Our checking account has $22,977 in it. Our savings, $107,072. We have recently opened an investment account and are very conservatively doing some investment. We will be keeping up with the investment count through the treasurer's report and seeing how successful that is. Our previous minutes from the April meeting are on our website, and you can go out there and look at the minutes, as well as looking at the video on the YouTube channel. So that meeting is out there. All right, I am going to let Jim Thornhill unmute and talk to you about our next seminar.
Thank you, Susan. Our next seminar is going to be with Dr. Thomas Jones. It's going to be a seminar on writing. This is the second in our series, the two-part series that we've had this year. We had Michael Lacapo, which was just with us on research and doing some in-depth research techniques. And then now in July 9th and 10th, Thomas Jones is going to be with us talking about writing. Once we do that research and make those discoveries, how we can communicate that to our colleagues and to the world, basically, through writing, and whether you want to do this as a family history or whether you want to write for a journal. We're going to cover all of that. And don't be intimidated in thinking this is just for professional writers. We are going to start out with the very basics, things like sentence structure and how you get started and how you get your ideas. And then we're going to build on that over 2 days and hopefully have a very successful seminar and make some new authors for our society and for our passion.
Thank you. All right, we need to do a quick poll now to confirm that we have a quorum in getting ready for the vote. So if you would please mark if you're a member or not and submit the poll. So while we finish up with that,
or 2 members present.
for that, I want to thank the nominating committee. You know, DGS does a lot of its work with committees. It gives people a chance to do a specific project without committing to, you know, running the society. And one of the most important nominating committees out there, one of the most important committees is the nominating committee. This year, Patty Huff Smith chaired the committee. Dean Barron, Jean Larson, Ann Breuer, and Tammy Garrett served. And I so want to thank you for your service to the DGS Society in doing this. This committee, we've got our poll results. So most of us present are members. So we do have a quorum. Thank you. All right. So now we are going to vote on the 2021-22 slate of officers for the DGS Executive Committee. This group has to be elected, and then other directors will be appointed by the Executive Committee once we start. So for president, it is Jim Thornhill, vice president Susan Younger, treasurer Susan Rainwater, Secretary Ann Breuer. So if you will, please vote on the poll that is up.
Yes, for 2 members.
Yes, everything.
And submit it.
Did we both get to vote?
Yeah, I've checked the 2 members. That's why they put that in.
Right, we're going to give people just a moment. And I want to thank all of you being here today to do the vote. That's important as well. Okay. Have 100%. We have approved the slate. And so congratulations to those folks who are going to be serving on the executive committee next year. All right. Now, I've got a little pop quiz for you. How many of you recognize these icons and who they stand for? I'm assuming you all recognize the globe as AT&T.
Walt Disney.
And Walt Disney. And what this does is I'm going to kick off the announcement that we've been promising. Last fall, the board decided we were going to look at a new logo for DGS. It's been a while since we've looked at that. And it was quickly determined that we didn't need just a logo, we needed a brand, so that when people saw our logo, they knew it was DGS. Now Disney's already taken the D, so we couldn't use the D to brand the society with. But we created a branding committee made up of Sharon Bowles, Todd DeDecker, Tony Hansen, Ken Johnston, Kathleen Murray, Patty Smith, and me. And this has been, we spent a lot of time doing this, but it's been one of the most rewarding projects that I've worked on with DGS. And so this is our announcement. We are announcing a new logo, a new brand for DGS. Our goal was to create a brand identity for DGS, an identity that would immediately be recognized as the Dallas Genealogical Society from Dallas, Texas. We wanted to have consistent graphics and colors and an updated logo. So again, so that people would see it and they'd go, I know what that DGS stands for. That's Dallas and that's Texas. We needed to identify a graphic designer or a design consultant to help us create a branding strategy and a new logo. And that was important. We did have Ken Johnson, a great support, but this was branding we found was you really need to know what you're doing. And one of the things that we did was to first go in and define who the Dallas Genealogical Society is, to define our purpose, our values, our audience, our personality, and our look and feel. We're not changing the society, we're changing how people look at us and how we project ourselves out there. And so it was really important to explore who we are and to define that. And as we worked with a consultant, that was certainly an important part of that process, so that the consultant could understand who we were and give us a reasonable and a fitting brand for us. So we started by researching brand strategies of other nonprofits. Some of them were large, some of them were small, most of them were not genealogy related. We educated ourselves about branding in general and about style guides, because not only did we want the brand, we have a style guide now that tells us how to use it, what colors to use, when to use it, so that it's going to be a consistent visual recognition of who DGS is. We created a mind map about DGS, which is literally a graphic representation of who we are and what we do. And that was really an amazing exercise, and it so helped the consultant we worked with. We created and issued a request for proposal that was a detailed description to the consultants we sent it to, that said, this is who we are, this is what we want, these are the deliverables we expect, and this is the budget we have. We reached out to people asking for references for consultants. Part of that included conducting an interview with a consultant before we chose the consultant to work with. And once we did choose that consultant, we spent a solid month, a pretty active month, working with the consultant to develop the brand strategy and logo for DGS. At this point, we are now implementing the brand strategy, which means we are looking at everything that has the DGS name on it, or what could have a DGS name on it, and rebranding it with the new brand. This is taking several months, and over the summer, the board will be working on this, which everything coming with a new table cover to a new website. Now, the website won't be new, it will reflect the new branding style that we're going with. So that's a huge project that Todd, Tony, and Susan Rainwater are working on. And if you see them looking kind of dazed, you'll understand that they've been looking at behind the scenes efforts on our webpage. So our final deliverables was a new logo, the icon, the name, the word mark, the submarks, a new color palette, the typography, the fonts, and some templates, so that we're going to be consistent with what we do on our social media and our we need to mute some so that we're consistent with our all of our brochures, our marketing material, the website itself. And here's the lady who helped us get there, Allison Burns, Allie Marie Design. She was a delight to work with. And I think she enjoyed working with us because we started way ahead of the process by the fact that we had done the mind map, that we had really done an in-depth dive into who DGS was. So we want to thank and recognize Allie for her work with us and the final product. I'm going to take a quick little side trip and talk to you about the DGS mind map. This is, like I said, is a graphical representation, and the parts of the mind map explain why DGS exists, what our core values are, the tone of voice that we want to project, our desired visual identity, who DGS serves and who we want to serve, our vision there, and how DGS communicates and the vision of how that's going to change. Social media is obviously one area that we are paying close attention to. I'm going to show you the mind map. I do not expect you to be able to read it. Well, all right. There is DGS graphically. Now we will make this available on for where people will be able to sit and read it, and I'm going to show you a small part of it. But by going in and defining these, the why DGS exists, what our core values are, this really made it easy for us, easier for us to do the brand that says this really represents DGS. And thanks to Kathleen Murray and Ken Johnson for an incredible document there. We will be using this in our planning strategies for the upcoming year or 2 years. But here is what we said was what we wanted in the desired visual identity. So this is part of that mind map. The characteristics, we wanted it to be modern, but with a respect for history. We wanted it to be unique and specific to DGS, different from other genealogy societies, but still a genealogical society. We wanted it to honor diversity. We wanted it to be welcoming and approachable, inclusive of new or underserved audiences. We wanted it to show that we were technology savvy, that we were professional. And yes, we did say it didn't have to be a family tree graphic. We were open on that one. So our guidelines ended up providing the logo and ability to download it, our color palette, again, the typography, the fonts, how the signage look, packagings, iconography, photography, illustration, web design, and the video in motion. So we're going to look at a quick video that tells you and shows you what our brand is for the Dallas Genealogical Society. I'm going to stop sharing, and Tony is going to.
Since its inception in 1955, the Society has had an identifiable mark. Initially, a word mark, then a few logos over the years, but never a brand.
Well, I hope you're as excited as we are. And we're going to be working over the summer, the board is, to brand, not rebrand, we're going to brand the things that has our name on it. We're going to work hard. If anyone wants to join and help volunteer, let us know. Anyone who does marketing or things like that. But I'm really proud of the work that the committee has done and that the board has done. And I want to thank Kathleen Murray for that little video. She put that together, which is a nice description of the brand. And our style guide is actually already on our webpage. You will be seeing by the end of the summer, hopefully, the website will be rebranded. And that's our announcement, a special announcement. Please let us know what you think. Either calling us or sending an email to any of the board members. And that ends the presentation. And right now we are going to be, we're going to turn the meeting over to Sharon, and she is going to MC the awards ceremony.
All right, folks. Good morning. I'm Sharon Bowles, if you don't know me. I've been a member of DGS for about 10 years, and I'm currently serving as the Director of Publicity. So normally when we're together for the awards ceremony, you probably see me running around frantically trying to make sure that the table decorations look okay. So I sort of feel like I've gotten a promotion to be the MC of the awards committee today. So let's talk for just a second about our venue. Who would have ever thought we would be meeting in this particular way? Let's face it, last time we all got together for the awards, we thought our biggest problem was just trying to fight through all that downtown Dallas holiday event traffic just to get into the library and to get our lunch into the library. So after that, that was the last straw in 2019, and the board decided we have got to move this. It has now become not so much a celebration, but as though we're competing in an episode of The Amazing Race, just trying to get to the place. So we thought, what's a good other alternative time? And that would be May at the end of our DGS year. So we decided on May 2021. Fast forward, we thought we had smooth sailing ahead of us. We did not know Mother Nature was about to drop that big bomb on us, but she did. And while all of us have our own stories about how we've managed through the pandemic, I just want to say I'm very proud of DGS for not only surviving, but thriving. As the old, as the title character in the old musical, The Unsinkable Molly Brown said, I ain't down yet. And we did not go down. You know, we adjusted, we persevered, we kept going, and by golly, here we are. It's May 2021, and we are still having our awards ceremony. So yay. And with that in mind, that's thanks to so many of you who have contributed, not just the recipients that we're going to give these awards to today. There's so many of you that have helped us survive and do well during this time. So I've got to say, on behalf of myself and the rest of the nominating committee for the awards, and also Susan, you folks did not make our job easy this year. So many of you contributed in small and also very large ways. It was very hard to select these recipients. There were many deserving people. I think we probably could have given these awards, each one of them, to 2 or 3 different people or groups.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all, and to also those of you who took the time to send us a nomination for who you thought was deserving to be a recipient today. Okay, so moving on, I think the orchestra is about to come on and play me off the stage because I'm being too long-winded. So let's get on to the awards. So the first one is the DGS President's Special Award, and that honors an individual or a group whose contributions to the society fall outside the criteria for our other awards. So I'll turn that over to Susan Younger again to present it.
Okay, in March 2020, the Dallas Public Library closed its doors due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The shutdown happened just a few weeks away from the Dallas Genealogical Society's 2020 spring seminar featuring Tony Burrows. The DGS board had no choice but to cancel the spring seminar. And with no idea of how long the library would remain closed, Jim Thornhill started the process to reschedule Mr. Burrows' program. During this time, we received word from our 2020 fall seminar speaker that he had to cancel. Within just a very few weeks, DGS could no longer offer 2 of the 3 2020 seminars, and the summer seminar could not be held in person. It had to be virtual or canceled. So with no other choice, virtual it was. With no experience using Zoom webinars, we had experience with the meetings. A dedicated but stubbornly determined group of volunteers set about presenting the Dallas Genealogical Society's inaugural virtual seminar, The DNA from A to Z, Unlocking Your Genetic Code. The 2021 President's Special Award recognizes the men and women who served on the DGS seminar presentation teams. I cannot be more proud of the work and accomplishment of these individuals who spent countless hours learning Zoom webinars, planning, practicing, providing tech support for attendees, and presenting the DGS seminars in a virtual environment. Those individuals are from the core group who planned, scripted, provided tech support, and hosted the seminars. That's Tony Hansen, Jim Thornhill, Todd DeDecker, and I was on that team. Then there were the Q&A managers who monitored the questions and chat activity for each of these sessions for the different seminars. From DGS, that includes Dean Barron, Brenda Cannon, Linda Harrison, Mark Harrison, Bernard Meisner, Teresa Tarek, Jay Tompkins. And from the Texas State Genealogical Society, Susan Ball, Sandra Crowley, and Emily Richardson. Those are the folks that literally put these seminars together and put DGS on a different course. But I also want to recognize that other volunteers were helping behind the scenes as well, and thank them for their support. And that was Sharon Bowles, Michelle Cohen, Kathleen Murray, Tony Hansen, Patty Smith, and Jim Thornhill for providing the publicity. Ken Johnson for providing the graphics and publicity material, and the DGS board for their support and encouragement. So please join me in thanking all of the volunteers, but especially in recognizing the seminar team that put together, I guess the technology team that put together these seminars for us. Tony Hansen and Jim Thornhill will accept the award on behalf of the team members.
Our DNA seminar was the highlight of what was otherwise a really crummy year. When we committed ourselves to having a day-long seminar with 3 simultaneous sessions, we knew we were going to have the help from a lot of really talented people willing to commit a lot of time in order for this event to be a success.
This team accepted the challenge and produced an outstanding seminar. I am very proud of what we accomplished, and I am deeply impressed by the contributions of everybody involved. We would also like to thank the DGS Board of Directors for allowing us to charge forward with such an ambitious project. Thank you, Susan, for recognizing the contribution of this team.
Thank you, Jim, Tony, and Susan. I hope you can see the applause going on, even though you might not be able to hear it. The next award is the DGS Award of Merit nomination, and it is presented annually to the DGS member who's consistently contributed time, talent, expertise, and abilities to the society over a period of years. This member's dedication and their hard work and the name of the society usually goes way above the norm. Their contributions always stand out. So Tony Hansen will now present this award.
This year's recipient of the Award of Merit attended her first Dallas Genealogical Society seminar in 2004. She struck up several strong friendships within the group with many people who are on the call today and was elected to the office of vice president in 2006. 2 years later, she was elected as president and re-elected again in 2009. In 2010, she established the Jewish Special Interest Group, and she created the Brown Bag Group, later known as the Best Practices Group, in 2011. And she still leads both groups today. She's never been recognized or has never received any award for her contributions to our society and is, in the opinion of the awards committee, long overdue for recognition over 15 years of nearly continuous leadership in our society. Congratulations and thank you, Liz Coots. And we'll have a brief video from Liz here too.
I have to say that I owe the Dallas Genealogical Society a debt of gratitude for all the experiences it has given me. It has helped in my life in so many profound ways. It would take all day to state all of them. And anybody that is looking to learn about genealogy needs to be in this group. And the Jewish group is my husband's group. And when he did die, I knew that would be the one thing that he would want me to hold on to. And so I feel very blessed right now with lots of gratitude.
Thank you, Liz and Tony. The next award is for the DGS Volunteer of the Year Award. And this is also presented annually to a member who's generously volunteered their time, their talent, their expertise to the society during the previous year in a way that makes them really stand out, draws attention to their contribution. Kathleen Murray will now present this award.
Thanks, Sharon. There's so many people who stepped up their volunteer efforts since our December 2019 awards luncheon, the last time we were together for this. Among them is Ken Johnston, this year's Volunteer of the Year award recipient. Ken simply personifies the DGS brand. He generously lends his talents to the creation of several DGS marketing and collateral materials. Among these are advertisements, postcards, our seminar brochures, and their supporting social media graphics. This past year, Ken also modified the DGS logo. He refashioned our marketing materials to accommodate our transition to virtual programs. And additionally, starting last September, he joined the DGS branding team and lent his experience and his talents to that wonderful effort. So thank you, Ken, the DGS Volunteer of the Year, for your generosity, for your professionalism, and for your commitment to excellence. All much appreciated.
Well, thank you, Kathleen and everybody. I'm touched by this special recognition for the graphics I created for the DGS. There are so many volunteers in DGS who offer their time and talents. And here's what I know. Volunteering for DGS is being part of a team. Together, what we do is we combine our skills and our talents and our abilities. And in doing that, we make each other's work better. So this I also know. The DGS volunteers I've collaborated with have helped my design work be even better. And so today, what I want to do is share this award with those volunteers as well. Thank you, DGS board and everyone so very, very much.
Thank you, Ken. Ah, thank you, Kathleen. All right, let's move on. The next award is the DGS Heritage Preservation Award. I'm sorry, I have to read this. It's very wordy description. So it's presented annually to an individual, a group, or an organization in recognition of contributions to preserve, to conserve, to house, or collect family history. The past recipients in this category cover many varying types of genealogical and historical preservation endeavors. And Gayla Bush will now present this award.
Hi, everyone. This year's Heritage Preservation Award goes to a group of dedicated volunteers who are intent on seeing that one of Dallas's beautiful landmarks receives the care and attention it deserves. The Friends of the Oakland Cemetery Dallas was created to join people together that are interested in the history, preservation, and beautification of Oakland Cemetery. This volunteer group has been attending to the maintenance of nearly 60 acres of land containing more than 30,000 burials. This majestic cemetery that was established in 1892 includes a who's who of recognizable names from Dallas history, such as Dealey, Caruth, Hervey, Zang, and Ackerd. In recent times, the cemetery has fallen into disrepair and neglect. The Friends of the Oakland Cemetery volunteers have come to her rescue, providing constant maintenance that includes lawn mowing, brush and tree removal, leaf bagging, stump clearing, and trash pickup. And it requires countless hours of labor to accomplish this necessary ongoing care. The Friends volunteers also work to clean and repair headstones and to reset stones when needed. They've provided their volunteers with workshops on gravestone preservation and also on veterans' headstone cleaning to ensure the stones are handled with the care and respect in keeping with current professional standards. The Friends of Oakland Cemetery are also involved in assisting visitors locate their families' grave sites. Educating the public about Oakland Cemetery is also a big focus of their efforts. They have invested their time and talents to research, collect, and share on their Facebook page many biographies and photographs of those interred in the cemetery. They frequently highlight touching and inspiring stories of the lives of Oakland's interred residents so that they won't be forgotten. People can see their reclamation story in the short documentary, Forgotten Ground, on YouTube. So it is with great pleasure that the Dallas Genealogical Society recognizes the enormous labor of love of the Friends of Oakland Cemetery, Dallas. Monica Newberry and a team of volunteers will be accepting the Heritage Preservation Award on their behalf.
The Friends of Oakland would like to graciously accept and acknowledge the award presented to us by the Dallas Genealogical Society for the Dallas Heritage Preservation Award. We've worked very hard out here in Oakland. My partner in crime, Tom White, all of our volunteers that have weed eaten and mowed and chopped down trees and raked and recorded headstones and lifted headstones. Tom is our...
As long as there's a blister earned by anybody here, they're qualified to be on the team.
So thank you very much for acknowledging the work that we've done, and we hope to continue moving forward and doing more for this cemetery.
And who are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm Monica. I'm Monica, and this is Tom. Thank you. And this is everybody else. Thank you.
I'm so excited about that. Thanks, Monica, Tom, and also Gayla. All right. And last but not least, we're going to go to the DGS Lloyd G. DeWitt Boxtruck Distinguished Service Award. That's presented to an individual for outstanding contributions to the genealogical community as a whole on a national level. And we'll turn it back to Susan Younger to give this award.
All right. This year's award goes to someone widely known and revered as a genealogy writer, educator, lecturer, and editor. Thomas W. Jones earned his certified genealogist credential in 1994, and since that time, he has become a highly sought-after speaker at annual conferences. Those venues include the National Genealogical Society and Roots Tech, week-long courses at the Genealogical Research Institute of Pittsburgh, the Institute of Genealogical and Historical Research, and the Salt Lake Institute of Genealogy. He also presents at workshops, regional and state seminars, and local genealogical society meetings. Dr. Jones co-edited the National Genealogical Society Quarterly from 2003 to 2018. He authored Mastering Genealogical Proof and Mastering Genealogical Documentation, works considered must-haves for the serious genealogist. Another well-known colleague, Judy Russell, said of Mastering Genealogical Proof, "It is the ultimate how to do genealogy right book." Thomas Jones holds a PhD. He is a fellow of the American Society of Genealogists, a fellow of the Utah Genealogical Association, and a fellow of the National Genealogical Society. Dr. Jones' impact on the genealogy world for the past 3 decades has been mighty, and DGS is pleased to recognize his immense contributions by presenting him with the Lloyd DeWitt Bachstruck Distinguished Service Award. Additionally, DGS will make a $250 donation to a genealogy-related organization, a library, archive, museum, or historical society in Dr. Jones' honor as part of this award. Dr. Jones will announce his choice for the donation.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Dallas Genealogical Society. I'm greatly honored by your comments and to receive this unexpected recognition. The Society's valuing what I've done motivates me to continue. I'm especially honored that your award bears the name of Lloyd DeWitt Bachstruck, an outstanding genealogist who helped, inspired, and taught so many of us in so many ways. For your donation in my name, I've chosen the Norwich Historical Society in Norwich, Vermont. I appeared out of the blue in Norwich on a day that the Society's library was closed, but 2 of the Society's volunteers generously went extraordinarily out of the way to find a record in the Society's archives that helped me solve a genealogical mystery. I thank you greatly for honoring me with the Lloyd DeWitt Bachstruck Distinguished Service Award for 2021.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Susan. Okay, well, we are drawing near a close, so who knows where the after party is going to be? I'm ready. Are you? Oh, seriously, though, congratulations to all the very worthy recipients today and to the awards nominations committee, which was Tony Hansen, Kathleen Murray, Gayla Bush, and myself, with a little consultation from Miss Susan Younger. All right, I'm going to turn it back over to Susan to close us out. Thanks.
All right. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for celebrating our volunteers. And thank you for being a part of DGS. As you can see from things we said, it's made a difference in our community. It's made a difference at the library, and it's because of you. Now, I do want to show one last little video since we're kind of taking a look back as well as into the future. I think all of you remember who remember Lloyd, remember that he often started his lectures out with a joke. Well, we're going to end our meeting today with a joke from Lloyd. And so I'm going to share my screen again. Let me get this up.
I've got it queued up if you want me to show it, Susan.
Oh, you've got it? Okay. All right, good.
It seems that there was a new minister in the parish. He had joined the pastoral team, and to enable him to function as best he could in consultation with the others, on himself the goal of visiting all of the parishioners. So in the next week, he had set aside Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning for that purpose. And Monday had been successful. He really had appreciated the outreach and the quality of the conversations he'd had with each of these households. And Tuesday, he followed the same example. And Wednesday, he was next to his last stop, and he pulled up to the curbside, opened the door, got out, and walked up the front walk, up the steps to the front door, and he rapped. No response. Now, he had had 100% perfect match up to that point. So he rapped again. No response. And he turned to, as if to return to his car, and he thought he heard something. And he listened, and indeed there were sounds coming from inside. So somebody was there. And he went back, and this time he, with full force, no response. No one ever came. So he took out his business card, and on the reverse side, he wrote a scripture. Revelation 3:20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. And left it there. Well, the following Sunday after services, the treasurer of the church came to him and said, we found your business card in the offering plate, and there's a note to you on the back. And it simply had Genesis 3:10. Well, though he had been to seminary and was quite gifted in memorizing scriptures, that was not one that he could recall anything about it. What would be Genesis 3:10? But having his Bible at hand, he opened it up to the Old Testament and the third book of Genesis, and there he read, I heard the sound of thee in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. So in case you're taking an air bath or a suntan exposure, you might be able to use that. It was night before last, Saturday night, in fact, after I had joined the group taking John Humphrey out to dinner.
Tony, I think that's the end of the joke. All right, so I hope you enjoyed a little blast from the past with Lloyd there. Please watch our events page to see what we're doing during the summer, and we will see you the first Saturday of September for our meeting starting out the 2021-22 year. Again, thank you all for being here today.
This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. If you're not a member, please consider joining now by going to dallasgenealogy.com and clicking on the membership tab. Your membership dues will help us support the genealogy section of the Dallas Public Library, and that will allow us to continue our education and preservation efforts.